And we're streaming in 3, 2, 1, go. Double check to see if it's working. Here we are. All right, so I have a bone to pick with people, right? So I was told this week that I look like a 40-year-old dad at a barbecue. Like, who would say that to somebody? Even if I did
That's
look like
that's so specific.
like a 40-year-old dad at a barbecue? Like, how do I look like? What does one look like at a barbecue? I don't know. But anyways, it's us again on a Friday. It's the Booze and BJJ podcast. I apparently look like a 40-year-old dad at a barbecue. I don't really know if that's an insult or what, but it's sticking with me. Does it really? Do I really look 40 now? I don't know. But anyways,
How old are you?
yes. It's been another week of training. Good week of training, actually. I actually got over my little limb swelling thing, so I was actually able to do stuff this week. And but enough about me. Let's start with Wole, since it's been a while. Wole, sir, how are you? And how's your week gone? And what you drinking?
So going all right. I'm drinking rum and coke. I've been off dealing with moving and a bunch of things, and then family in town. Yeah. So it's been a while, but I'm back.
Yeah, you've been missed, actually. I felt like I was
Yeah.
holding it down for the old guys,
The brown guys.
the brown guys. Frankie, what's going on with you?
Coaching was good. I guess last week I got food poisoning.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's not the way to start the week. I ate some, got that food poisoning. Other than that, training was good. Worked on a lot of clinching this. Oh, and on Tuesday night, one of the students busted and broke my nose.
Ooh.
Seriously?
Yeah, I guess one of the tie pads that we have is very slick. So he threw the knee and it slipped and it went straight to my nose. I was like, ah.
Ouch.
So yeah, I was leaking pretty bad and snapped that bad boy back into place. But all in all, it's still a little tender, but all in all, it's pretty good. Just we worked on clinching, and hopefully we're gonna keep working on that until we master it. So
Awesome. Yeah, personally, like I said, I just started to be able to train this week. I did have a little surprise today. I was out in Chantilly earlier today, and my dad came by.
Nice.
And the folks who were present didn't believe that he was my dad. It's like, what is my dad supposed to look like? Like a miniature, like an older version of me? Incorrect. But
like a 40-year-old guy at a barbecue.
More like a 60-year-old guy at a barbecue. Whatever.
Drinking Trulies. Oh, speaking
That's
of
back
Trulies.
again?
Speaking of Trulies, hold up. So today I had a little wager with one of my coworkers, and I bet him like a Truly because he likes Trulies, I guess. That's a whole different topic, but apparently I won the wager and he came to get me a Truly. I was like, nope. I gave it away. I gave it away to somebody. Not happening.
Well, I have you know that I'm joining Wole in the rum and coke arena.
Same here. I am doing Puerto Rican rum and coke, Bacardi.
Sweet.
We should get Truly to sponsor an episode.
Not when Frankie's trash talking them, no, they won't.
Well, they might convert you. You never know.
But you know,
they might have a Puerto Rican rum and coke Truly.
But you know, the thing is, sometimes playfully trash talking a brand is the best promotion that they can get.
Yeah.
I don't think they need more promotions. They got high school white girls that are going crazy. So, you know,
You're gonna get us in trouble one day.
probably, but
One day,
we've already
every
been in
day,
trouble.
every
Probably,
single
yeah,
time.
yeah,
Day.
that's true. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. If that's your preference of drink, then so yeah. I mean, some people like them. I mean, personally, I don't like them, but it's like an upgraded version of Mike's Hard Lemonade. Remember those?
Mm-hmm.
Or a Zima.
Yeah.
All
It's
right,
a lot better than a four. It's a lot better than a Four Loco from back in the day.
Or Smirnoff Ice.
Yeah, but Smirnoff size were pretty okay. Depends.
Okay,
It's wait, hold on, wait a minute. That
No.
still had liquor, not a beer or anything like that. It had liquor.
It was still nasty.
It depends.
No, there's no depends. It's still nasty.
Like if you got like a lemonade from the like what is it, Chick-fil-A, and threw some lemonades Smirnoff Ice. There we go. That was back in the college days.
I'd rather just get Everclear and put it into the lemonade. It tastes much better.
All right. One more thing before we start on the topics for the night. Let me tell you guys something that has stuck with me ever since.
Okay.
Our good buddy Sid, Sid from Pentagon, invited me over had people over for New Year's. And he goes, "Hey, Thomas, you want to try some peppermint moonshine?"
Mm.
It was both the most delicious alcohol and yet the worst alcohol I've ever tasted. Because
you gotta be careful with moonshine, man. There's some people that make it in a tub, and then they got the old school way. The old school way, it's really yeah. But the old school way, it's a little bit more pricey than the bathtub shit that they make now.
But let me tell you, believe it or not, the first half second that I tasted it, it was amazing. It tasted literally like a liquid peppermint candy, right? The split second after that forward, completely awful.
Yeah.
I had two options: spit it out or swallow it. So
but old school apple pie moonshine, baby, can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
Anyways, gentlemen,
I'm trying to stay within the rules, so I let that one go.
Hold on one second. My camera's my webcam is like freaking out.
We are all having technical difficulties this weekend, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Just give me a minute.
I'm trying to work on my light in here. Get my little stream deck going and all that stuff.
I need to get like a good mic and good headphones and a camera and blah 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 blah. We'll get there. If this blows up and we start getting money off of this, maybe Thomas will buy us a good couple of headsets and stuff like that.
Sponsorships.
I just need a new damn.
Is it Rode microphones? Yeah, if you're out there listening, we do this every week.
or any liquor company, please sponsor us with liquor.
I would laugh if like some local liquor company is like, sure, they throw us like.
Do you remember Scott? I don't know if you remember. He did Muay Thai with us for a minute. He owns a whiskey company, a local whiskey company.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's trained Muay Thai with us. I might. We'll see.
I don't know about whiskey, but let me tell you, this rum and coke is amazing. And I don't know if it's just a mixture or whatever, but like the ratio between the coke and the rum. I have no words. It's delicious.
With rum and coke, you have to get that ratio right. It's either just like straight up bitter, or it's like perfect, or it's just like too much coke, then you get drunk because you drink it too quickly.
Yeah.
Right.
What's I gonna say? So there's a friend of mine, his friend owns a local cidery, Lost Boys Cider. I think it's called Lost Boys Cider.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe I could talk to him just like, hey, we could just spend a segment about talking about your, testing out your alcohol. We could talk about it.
Yeah. There's a bunch of breweries around here. Virginia is
Yeah,
like a bunch of breweries and distilleries and wineries and moonshineries and all kind of crazy shit.
Dude, booze is part of the name in this, so we should dedicate a segment of each episode trying out new stuff.
Actually, Wole, that is a good idea. If you can get in contact with that guy,
yeah,
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I think would be cool if let's say we get like we're live on Twitch. If we get like, oh, first one to like 10 for Thomas has to take a shot. For like a good 2 hours, just see who gets trashed by the end of the night.
we send out. Yeah.
So Twitch, they'd be like, oh, Thomas, not the first 10 people that's comment Thomas or write Thomas, they have to drink it, and like, or they put my name down, I have to drink.
Yeah. Or we could send out like an extra case to someone. This is some good thinking. Are our Twitch followers local or?
No, they're globally.
They're global.
No. Yeah. How many do we have today? Is it the reliable 3?
Right now, just one.
Cool. Well, welcome.
That's that bot.
I don't think it's a bot because when I started the stream, it was at 0, and then about 7 minutes in, the viewer count ticked up. So it's definitely somebody.
A bot would not be interested in anything that we're talking about. It might be like a Russian bot, like, come see nice girls.
Kind of like my dog.
All right. What's the topic, Thomas?
All right, hold on a second. I did address Streamlabs. All right, so Frankie sent me a video a couple days ago. And it was actually a video I'd seen before. It was about a guy who was a black belt in Aikido who went to a jiu-jitsu school. Was it a jiu-jitsu school or an MMA school?
All right, that looks like MMA.
Do you know what I'm talking? Yeah, you got it too.
Yeah, so it looks what he was doing is like MMA. So.
Right.
I don't think there's such thing as an MMA school, or you have mixed martial arts, or you have. I don't think there's MMA.
What are you talking about? Everybody has MMA in there. Come on.
But
MMA is not an art. We've already went through this. It's just a bunch of arts mixed in.
Everyone's doing it. I'm gonna be like Wole MMA.
So if I jump off a bridge because Mr. So and so, it counts.
Frankie, no, I will follow you off that bridge.
Yeah, that's a lie. That's a lie.
No, I'll push you.
Yes, this is MMA. Yeah. Nope, we are not doing that.
Anyways, so to continue. So this guy who does Aikido Dojo stormed effectively a MMA school. And he seemed, would you say he was a little bit arrogant in the video that he made?
A little bit.
Is it real? Let's start with that. Is it real? I mean, also, was that the same guy talking? Was he the same one who was in the video?
Yeah.
Yes.
It happens. I've seen it happen. I've seen that happen.
Okay.
The crazy thing is, Wole, this isn't the only incident of this happening.
No, yeah, I know. But like this one just felt so, well, I guess because it was from the perspective of somebody else, they put it together. Because I wouldn't trash talk another martial art dojo storm someone else's place and then put together video of me getting my ass whooped,
That's a lie. This is why. Open mats. You're going into somebody else's gym, somebody else's turf.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it on the internet because I'm not gonna put video of my ass getting whooped on the internet. But I get it. It's from, so I looked it up, the person's account, and it's basically someone else put the video together. They spliced this dude trash talking BJJ and put it together with the guy getting his ass whooped. But anyway, continue.
So, with that being said, you're right. Like somebody in their right mind, maybe that's the wrong term. Somebody who is aware of how the optics of that would look probably wouldn't put a video together and put it on the internet. But it leads me to wonder though, like, did this guy do this because he was so confident in his abilities, or was he like more delusional? I kind of feel like he's a little bit on the more delusional side, but what do you guys think?
I mean,
I think he's, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, people are confident until, they're in a fight and then they just lose their mind. They just like don't know how to do anything. It could be that too. Like he was overconfident, got into the fight, didn't know how to handle the situation, and then it just looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. He may be a black belt, he may know what he's doing, but he's not you don't do that.
Right. And
all right. So I had it. Go ahead.
So the reason why I ask maybe he was arrogant or delusional is because Aikido doesn't have tournaments. There's no pressure testing to it. It seems like it would be, for me, from the outside thinking in, it seems like it would be a very bad idea to go to an MMA school to pressure test a fighting style that I'm in.
Well, that's because, but you're thinking of it with the background in like BJJ, and you're not thinking about it as like, you're thinking about it as with the background of a real martial art.
Sorry, Frankie, go ahead.
So there wasn't an incident. I was at the farmer's market this past weekend.
You fancy.
I like farmers markets, man. You guys support your local farmers, ladies and gentlemen. It helps out. But
sponsorship, get some vegetables up in here.
Dude, they had some amazing strawberries, but that's beside the point. So there's this guy, there's this, I guess it's a class or a demonstration or something like that. And they were doing like kung fu, but very like stylish and beautiful and whatnot. And I just looked at them and I was like, who's running that show right now? I kind of want to test that, see how good they are. And that's what ran through my mind. And that's what I didn't do it, but that's what ran through my mind for a split second. I was like, I wonder if I go over there and me and him can spar a little bit and see what happens. And then I went to go buy some strawberries.
I mean, I respect martial arts. I respect Aikido. I don't know anything about it. I respect it. I respect all martial arts.
Yeah.
I just don't, it's never a good idea to go into another place where you don't know what you have no background in it and try to like prove something. I don't know. Maybe that's just my personality. I'm not into having to prove myself or to prove like better than someone. It's just never a good idea to do that, because you're going to run into that one person. It could have gone the other way. Like a BJJ person could have gone to an Aikido place and done the same thing and gotten their wrists mangled, So I don't know. At the end of the day, don't do it, kids.
No.
Hey! Hello!
There she is.
The surprise guest.
Oh, you went away.
Yeah.
No.
Awesome video.
So speaking of trash talking, as you guys can see with Taekwondo, I'm always attacking Taekwondo. Now wait a minute. On the last episode, I mentioned Megan, and this is our Megan.
Hi.
Very, very good at Taekwondo. I met Megan back 4 or 5 years ago?
2016, 2017.
Yeah, so she came along and this little short thing. Megan's not that tall, ladies and gentlemen. She's very, very short, but she's very, very skilled. And she actually sparred with us, and she sparred with me a couple rounds. So yeah, this is our Megan that does Taekwondo, and she's a black belt in Taekwondo.
She came to set you straight, Frankie.
A little bit, yeah.
Frankie gives Taekwondo a bad name, but I feel like anybody that's done Taekwondo will also give Taekwondo a bad name, especially if you've done other martial arts. So like, he's not unique in that regard. So,
well, I think it kind of comes down to, you know, I think a lot of people look at other martial arts that are very form-based and think that it's not useful. So like karate, it's very like form-based, and people might think, oh, that's not useful. Or Taekwondo, same thing. But I mean, you know, it's something. It's, you know, it's not, you know, you're learning something. Those forms are not there for nothing. They've been passed down for, you know, hundreds of years. So they must have been used at some point. So yeah,
of course.
I think a lot of people get it in their mind that one particular martial art is it, and that you can basically use that to destroy every other martial art, which is not true.
Yeah, no, you're right. And you know, when me and Megan sparred, you know, she gave me a hook kick, like an actual fully good Taekwondo hook kick to the face, and it was amazing. And I was like, whoa. And yeah, and it's because of, you know, her Taekwondo background, and she's been doing it for so many years, and it worked.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like you can take something from every martial art, you know, like Taekwondo, the kicks, you know, the joint manipulation, and you know, you mix it up. And I think that's what makes a good fighter, is someone who understands that every martial art is different, and you need to take an aspect of the martial art and mix it in with whatever style you have.
I totally agree. I think that if you go into martial arts, and this is the thing that people that don't train more than one style or have not like branched out to try other styles, they stay in that mindset that what they're doing is the end all be all. And that's not, you can kind of see the marks of someone that's not a true martial artist at that, in my opinion. That's not a fair assessment overall, because like you could be a true Aikido practitioner or a true Muay Thai practitioner or like a genuine Ryan Hall jiu-jitsu dude, and that's fine. But I feel like if you don't at least allow yourself to open up and experience other things and take from it, like you were saying, then you're limiting yourself, and you're making yourself look bad. So
yeah, I mean, I think it's I think a true martial artist, even though they may not practice other martial arts, a true martial artist respects other martial arts for what they are.
Of course.
And understands that the martial art that they're training is not, you know, it is not everything, basically.
Right.
Time out, guys. Thomas got to say something.
Oh, Lord.
No, don't mind me. I caught something I needed to close. I just closed it.
Oh.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Sorry. All right. Sorry.
Oh, your corgi, by the way, is super cute.
I'm so sorry. I've got two right now. One is mine and one is my friend's. Yeah. So
I've met her, Corgi. That dude's pretty dope.
He's great. He's got like one marble clinking around in his head. He's not bright, but he is wonderful. So we had like, oh, I'm sideways on my camera. Sorry. There we go.
All right, Thomas. Let's play that video, bud. Thomas. See, ladies and gentlemen, when he says that he's not all there, this is what happens. So go ahead, Megan. Keep how are things? How are things been going in the Taekwondo world?
Well, personally, I had a complete ACL repair. I don't know who I'm talking to audience wise, but for those of you at home, after years of, I actually found pictures of me training today at the place that I'm teaching now, because it's the same franchise from when I was younger. And they have a photo album from 2001, 2002, like around there, pictures of me training. And I was like, oh no, that is an 8-year-old, and I don't like that. But so I had these two major surgeries back to back about 2 years ago, right before the pandemic. And I have finally just got back into training myself more along the lines of like weight training and boxing and stuff, which has been nice. But as far as like the Taekwondo sport goes, it's the same. Nothing changed. Like,
I know.
just as
remember that
pretentious as we've
day.
always been.
I remember that day when you blew out your ACL.
It was
ACL
not a
TCL. It was not a good night
no,
for her.
no,
Not at all.
no.
What happened?
Well, I had a Taekwondo. I think you might have seen it when okay, so another thing, I have like glass bones and paper skin. Like I break very easily. I think the thing you were talking about was the day that we were sparring and I wrapped my foot around somebody's shin. I think it was Master Chun's shin when we were sparring, and I busted my foot in half. That was different. I busted my knee. I was teaching, I had just gotten my sling off actually from my my rotator cuff on my left shoulder. And I landed a side kick wrong and hyperextended my left leg. And I thought that I had snapped it like clean in half. It was the loudest. Everybody heard it. And I was like, ooh, I don't want to look at it. Is it facing the right direction? Like, am I going to die? Has it happened? But it was a complete ACL tear, which was actually the best circumstance because it could have been like an ACL, MCL, or a PCL. So I'm grateful that was just the one, but they did a hamstring graft on my left leg and a reconstruction of my left rotator cuff within 2 months of each other. So I was out for about a year with the rehab, and then the pandemic hit. So that was great. Would not recommend. 10 out of 10 would not recommend, but I'm back at it now, which is nice. So yeah, nothing other than that has been going on. It's been quiet.
Awesome. Yeah.
When was the last time I spoke to you, Megan?
When I left Pentagon, probably.
Oh man, that was
a really shitty leaving too. So okay, okay, yes, but there you go. But yes, that was probably the last time.
yeah. So 2 rules: don't talk trash about anyone by name. Don't talk trash about any gym by name.
It wasn't the gym when I had left. It was in the midst of my injury and everything. It was just a bad time. So
okay.
It was a shitty transition out because I had like one arm and a busted knee. So like it was not a fun go around.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So let's play this. I want to see this. We gotta show this video.
Which video? The Aikido one?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hilarious.
Hold on.
Oh God. So we're watching a video and we're like reacting to it. Is that what's happening right now?
Comments and reaction and
Oh Lord.
maybe teach a lesson out of it or something like that.
See, that should be another show segment.
I wanted to
Blues and
Blues and
BJJ reacts.
I was actually thinking about doing that on Wednesdays. Anyways, sharing in a second.
Starting to share. Oh God.
Can you guys see it?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. This is gonna work. I gotta move it. Sorry.
Hey man, I wouldn't know how to do it, so you're doing great.
He has a whole setup going and whatnot.
Yeah.
I would have no idea how to do it.
Speaking of injuries, Megan, I got my nose busted this past Tuesday by a student. He kneed my nose. Busted it. Oh yeah, it was good. It was blood everywhere. It was awesome.
I had a freaking kid. So I teach children, and I had a kid ask me why my face looks the way that it does, and I was like, "Well, that's rude." But for your information, I'm a human punching bag. And they're like, "You got a weird bumpy nose," and I'm like, "You got a weird lumpy head, but we don't talk about it." Like, stop being so mean.
How old was the kid?
This because of my tiger, so he's like 4. I was like, well, that's just because that, you know what that means? It's like really true. If a little kid is like calling you out,
it's pretty bad. Yeah.
It's like, oh. But I said, I got hit in the face, and they're like, when? I'm like, you want like one time that I've been hit in the face? Several. So good for you, man. Way to hold your mud. Good job.
All right, so
Got it, Thomas?
Yeah. Megan, do you
You
remember
can.
Skeletor 1 and Skeletor 2?
Of course I do. How are they?
They're evil. They
Well,
have
they weren't evil when I was there, but like what happened?
they recently agreed that I look like a 40-year-old dad at a barbecue. Like,
Well, that's rude.
I don't even know what that means, really.
I mean, do you though?
I don't think so.
Well, what kind of, do you have New Balance sneakers, Thomas?
No.
Well, do you wear the now? Is it the black dad at a barbecue with the socks and the sandals?
Yeah, that's a different connotation because like chunky white dad at a barbecue is going to have pocket shirts like my father and wear basketball shorts and New Balance sneakers.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
both.
the black
so
dad at the party is the shorts with the socks and the
sandals.
And sandals. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got to be the socks and sandals.
All right.
You could be
anyways,
an Asian dad at a party and have a fanny pack.
I could.
My father-in-law has a fanny pack.
That's awesome. All right. Video
Yeah.
time. Can you all see this?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
I can't hear it though.
Oh, you can't hear it?
Yeah.
No. Oh God. Oh.
That gets better.
Oh God. Oh God.
Hold on. Let me rewind it.
Yeah, you need the sound.
Yeah, I'm not seeing hearing what's happening, but someone's getting wrecked, and it's great.
So this guy, he's Aikido, and he's like, oh, Aikido is the best martial
baby.
arts when it comes in a combat fight, in a street fight. And then this happens, and the guy whooping him is a BJJ practitioner. So
Well, let's just watch it. I can't see why. We'll figure out the sound later.
That's fine. I'm sure it's now that I've got the connotation. I'm assuming this gentleman with the V-neck T-shirt's doing Aikido, so we'll just go from there. There he goes. That sounds right.
That was a good kick.
Oh God.
Was that an open hand slap or was that a punch?
yeah, open hand slap.
Well, that's.
And you gotta explain what he's saying.
So he's at this point he's saying, oh yeah, if you're properly trained in Aikido, you
Oh my
can
God.
defeat
Okay.
any BJJ, and then this happens again,
In a fight.
No. No.
grabs a hold of him.
Oh no, sir. Oh no. Oh,
And then
no.
he goes, all right, that's enough. And the guy's like, oh God.
I kind of in my head, what I was playing in my head when he did that takedown is what's this wrestler? John Cena.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I can see it. That's a big oof.
Yeah.
That's a big oof right there.
I mean, he was
Oh
nice
God.
too, because he could have dropped him in a worse
From way.
Yeah,
from
way
at
up.
the top.
Yeah.
Well,
Oof. That's a big oof. That's all I have on that one. That's rough, buddy.
well, the thing is, I kind of feel like that guy he was fighting was going easy on him. Like,
Oh yeah, no.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah, he could
He could have messed that guy royally up. Like
Yeah.
that was polite.
Yeah,
He told the line of being like a complete dick and going easy on him. Like he told that line very well. And,
That can be a really difficult line to navigate too, especially when someone's in there being like, I can take it. That's me. I was that person. So like when you have a partner that's like, I'm going to give you what I know you can handle, and it's not much. And then I'm going to throw you across the room. That's not good, my man. That's not a fun place to be.
So here's a question. If somebody walked into the place that you train and challenged somebody at your school in this manner, and your coach or sensei or whatever chose you to take up the challenge, A, would you say yes? And B, would you go easy on that person?
okay, you have to say yes.
Thomas, that's my lifelong dream.
Yeah.
I have always, I'm not kidding. I have always wanted to, because I had a coach that like way back in the day, apparently that was how you went about stuff. And he was like, yeah, they would walk in Korea and they'd be like, who's in charge here? Not anymore. Now it's me. And they'd fight. And they would just like straight up take your business. And I was like, that sounds terrifying. But also, God, can you imagine how much fun that would be? I would absolutely say yes. And no, I would not. You have a lot of confidence to go walking in there, and I want a good fight. So if you're good, it's going to be fun for both of us. If you're not good, it's going to be fun for me. Either way, I'm having a good time.
Yeah, I think also people probably underestimate you too. So
I'm small. No, I am 5'1", so come on in.
I have a dream of being the mat enforcer.
Like a bouncer at your school.
Yeah, so it's like, sometimes they're talking trash to instructors like, "Oh, you take him out," and I do my thing. But are
you picturing like Dragon Ball where you take off like your weighted training gear and then like Wally comes in and it's like, oh,
like rip my sleeves off.
Oh my god, you wear weighted training gear too, that's so great, and you like throw a 50-pound t-shirt off. Suddenly Wally's like fast as speed.
I'm too nice. I can't hurt people. Also they're just being dicks to everyone. Yeah, then that's a different story.
So Frankie, would you take up the challenge?
Oh, he would, and he'll talk.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why are you even asking? Like, of course he is. Like, that's a dumb question.
There's your answer.
That's a dumb way to go about it.
I mean, you gotta.
He does that every time he goes training, man.
So you gotta ask. The people.
You do. I mean.
Well, would
yes, I.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I would throw down like that because just to challenge myself every time, and like Megan said, it's like it's fun. It would be fun. It's like, okay, let's see. I've been training this long. Now there's a guy that's trying to show up and show me up. All right, let's do this.
Yeah. It's kind of like, no, not today. Be one of those.
Yeah, it's also like it's disrespecting your school too.
Yeah, it's disrespectful to the dude that's walking in too. Like if we're gonna look at it from both sides and devil's advocate and all that, when I would spar with Frankie, there's an obvious size difference. He never went easy. He was always respectful of it, and he gave me a good challenge. I know Frankie could beat me to a pulp if he wanted to, but that doesn't look good for him, and it doesn't look good for me either.
Sure.
But if someone walks in, they ask me for a challenge, they are confident enough in their abilities to do something about it, and I play games and like pitter patter, that just feels rude. Like that doesn't feel like I'm representing myself well either. I'm not saying like you walk up there, you knock the guy out and like spit on his face afterwards, but you give the appropriate amount of contact and control that would be proving your point while at the same time, carrying yourself with some respect.
Low, very low, very, very low key. I think Marsugi did that to me.
Oh no, Sugi squeezed my head like a grape one time, and I thought that he was gonna kill me. And he wasn't even going hard. I was like, I can feel the bones in my skull like separating. I'm like, oh no. Oh my god, this is it. This is how I am. All of a sudden I was an infant with that baby spot all over again. Yeah. It was great.
To Mega's point, if someone walks in to challenge, your school or whatever, and you're the one who is supposed to take them on, and you in the middle of it that you can destroy them, would you play around, and would you be kind of like will you kind of like shit talk and do all this other stuff, or do you think that would be too disrespectful? Just take them out.
I think it's prolonging the inevitable. For one, I think you put yourself at risk for something stupid slipping up and catching you off guard, which makes you look bad. And then I think you look like an asshole. So like you're representing your team poorly if you're running around and playing with people. If you know you can knock the person out, you're prolonging an injury too. Like it's like when you would spar with like a helmet for a long time and like you get your head wrapped around a bunch of times. It's almost better to take the clean knockout as opposed to, giving this guy like a long-standing head injury. It's probably for the best to just finish it quickly and efficiently, makes you look good, doesn't prolong the damage that this knucklehead's gonna get. I don't think it's good and it doesn't look good, Yeah.
There's this one video I watched. It's I don't know. There's one of the MMA fights. There's this guy he's like super cocky. He's coming out. Keeps dropping his hands, putting his head.
There's always a fighter like that though.
And then, he does some sort of dance move where he's like, doing some sort of dance move and turning around, and he catches
that.
Yeah.
I've seen this.
He catches
it was great.
It's hilarious.
Well, because then you gotta walk back to your corner, and I don't know how afraid you guys were of your coaches, but can you imagine walking back to your coach like, "Sir, I made a decision, and it was bad."
See, and that's my thing. When you're in a ring, you shouldn't be playing like that.
No, it's not a place to play, man. That's where you work.
This is where we train hard for. This is where, and I'm gonna hurt you. If I step into a ring, I am not being a nice guy. I don't care about if you die or not. I'm coming after you.
Can you imagine if, like, Frankie, you did that for, Vivek would probably kick you off fight team. Like, if you were in the ring and you're playing around, he's like, no, you're done.
I mean, okay, like me and Megan, we like sparring partners. we've played around a couple times.
But
whatever.
When it comes to fight,
but if we were in the ring, I never got a chance to go into the ring, which really sucks. I had a bunch of smokers, but I didn't have like an actual exhibition or like an actual fight. They were all exhibition, kind of things like that. But even then, if on the opposite coin, I've been in countless Taekwondo competitions. When you've got someone that comes in there and they have absolutely no respect for your time that you took to get there, and they are prancing around the ring like it is their time, that is the most infuriating, disrespectful. Like, you want to, not only you want to take this guy out, I kind of want to walk over there and like have a word with the coach, because like, who are you? How are you training your fighters? Like, that's just, it's not a good look. Now, if you're Conor McGregor and you're over there making millions of dollars, you turn up, do what you do, but you got to sell tickets. I get that. But if you, at its core, when you go into a ring and you think that it's playtime, you can think of it mentally as playtime if it helps you like get in your focus. It is not, it can be very ill received on the opposite end. And that's like the last place that you want to offend somebody, because there's like, they're going to hit you.
Now there's different kinds of, now there's taunting and then there's playing. So like that guy prancing around, dancing, and all that stuff, that's playing. But if you're taunting somebody to make a mistake, like what I did in my last fight, I was like, come on. Or like he tried to sweep me and I skipped over his sweeps. And I was like, what, you didn't get me? That's me taunting him to piss him off to get up. It's like mental warfare. So if you're playing around like that, I'm gonna catch you. I'm gonna catch you. Trust me.
I mean, also, taunting can also be, dangerous, because it's like I think that maybe probably the majority of people, they will get annoyed and slip up. But
easily.
I think there's a certain percentage of people who would take that and even use that as even more focused. They become even more focused, and then they basically channel their annoyance at you.
And it depends on the setting too. Like if you pull that in an MMA fight, or in I guess not really in Muay Thai, but like a ring is different than like if you pull that in like jiu-jitsu or in judo or in any of like the really stern traditional styles. That is like blasphemous. Like you don't do that.
I've never seen someone taunt someone in judo.
No, you don't. It's really rude. You're going to get your ass kicked by your coach. That's scarier than anything that's going to happen in the ring. Like, you don't play that. You go in there, you do what you're told, and you come back out.
Yeah, that's what Matsugi did. Like when we were training, the first time I met Sugi, and the first time I took class, I was talking smack to all these like wrestlers and stuff like that. Like, you can't get me, blah, blah, blah. And Matsugi pulled me to the side. He was like, hey, we don't do that. We don't do that. You'll come across, and he told me you'll come across a guy that will snap your arm off. I was like, from that moment forward, I was like, okay, this is not playtime anymore.
Yeah, I think everyone's
and I respect Sugi for that. Yeah. And I thank him for that, because now I take a view as Marshall. Okay, I gotta show respect. Show respect.
I mean, he could have also sent in the math enforcer to take care of him.
Sugi doesn't need a math.
You're kind of a little underweight there.
And I think one of the most important things in martial arts that you do come across, it's not when you win something, it's when you get those moments that someone cares enough about you as a fighter to pull you back down and remind you that you still have work to do. There was a dude that I was training with when I was at Capital MMA years ago. And I was never the bigger fighter ever, obviously. But I went with a girl that was like my size and I could handle it really well. And I just basically got on top of her and I sat on her, which I never get to do that. And I was so proud of myself for controlling the top the entire time. And then afterwards, he was so pissed at me for essentially bullying this girl. And I didn't think I was. I was just thinking I wasn't on the bottom getting my shit stuff. So I'm like, heck yeah, we're doing it. He whooped me around for round after round after round after that because he's like, that's not what we do. And I'm like, well, kind of feels like that's what we're doing, but I get it and I won't do it again. And those are important moments. So like, they're valuable.
Which capital MMA did you go to?
I was the one in Alexandria on Route 1.
I'm actually at I moved recently, but
You in Lorton? Oh, Tacoma? You're with Dante!
Yeah, Jay.
Oh, I love him. He's so nice. He tried to choke me out at the Capitol party one time, and my husband got mad at me and picked me up and carried me away. Because I volunteered. He said, please don't. And he lifted me up and removed me from the seat. He's fun. He's a lovely man.
Yeah, he's awesome.
But yeah, no, it was Rick that was at Capitol. Now he's at Disciple MMA. Yeah, Rick just beat the crap out of me. He did that in Muay Thai. It was anything that he had his hands on with me in it. I was getting my stuff like shoved in. I was like, all right, well. And then afterwards he goes, and now you're gonna be better. I'm like, I'm bleeding so much. Everything
I'm sore
hurts.
now.
I am crippled.
I think even, talking about taunting and playing around and stuff, I think even in, I've had situations like that, even in just sparring where someone is like either kind of, skipping around when they're supposed to be sparring or, they have you in some sort of hold and they're chatting on the sidelines. So the people are, and just like, that's disrespectful to my time, because I come here to spar, I come here to like train. So like, let's both stay focused.
Right.
You know what's disrespectful?
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll tell me.
When you're rolling to Bohemian Rhapsody.
Listen, I like Bohemian Rhapsody.
That's an awesome
yes.
song.
Frankie can fill you
Frankie,
in on that
what
one.
do you think about that?
So me and Thomas, we were rolling at Chantilly, and I put the music on in the background, and I was like, let me put some Queens on, and this is the first night we put Queens, and
Did you
Bohemian
plural
Rhapsody.
Queen? Did you just say Queens?
Yeah, you said Queens.
It's more than one, right?
No, it is
it's
one
Queen.
person. It's Queen.
It's one. Frankie,
Pretty
how
sure
old
it's
are you?
Queen.
Not Queens, Frankie.
Are you secretly older than I am? Because you sound like an old guy. Queens. The Queens.
I'm sorry, go on. Tell me more about the Queens.
I'm coming after both of y'all now. Your asses are mine. Anyways, back to my story. Then Mr. Thomas comes around and we start rolling, and he's just singing along, and he's over here laying down the business on me, and I'm like, dude, just shut up for a second.
Got emotion it all over your face. That's stressful.
It's funny that you should say that, Frankie, because isn't that what you do to other people?
Yes, he did the mental warfare on me. I was like,
Well, what music are you smushing people to? What is your song that gets in people's noggins that just throws off their rhythm?
I don't play music. I do play music, but I'm like just talking, like I'll start talking smack, like, oh, are you tired? And like, yeah, I'm not.
No, I remember at one point we had been sparring and you're like, are you gonna go? And I'm like, I already went, bro. I'm just ready to go. I'm done. I'm tired.
I play music in my head. I like Thunderstruck. That's a pretty good one to get me up in my head. Bodies by Drowning Pool. What else?
I teach kids, so I can't Queens. I can't play anything that has offensive language in it because I work with children. But I can play all the offensive language I want if it's in Korean and they can't speak Korean. So I'll have that going the entire time.
I say you play Coco Melon with all the little kids.
Dude, I was
Don't
just
play,
about
man.
to say that.
I have played. So I had a big fight with my manager because she wanted me to play nothing for every class, kids to adults, nothing but kids pop.
Ooh,
and I said, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to play either the anime openings I've been playing because there's no bad words in that and it's fantastic, or I'll play like I've got an 80s rock playlist that I listen to because the 80s, y'all didn't say bad words. Nobody said bad words in the 80s.
Wait, what?
Nobody said bad words in the 80s in music. Give me one. Give me one.
Well,
okay, that's fair.
True.
I found because I'm petty. I'm a professional petty person. I found a Kids Bop cover of WAP, and I played it.
Played on
yeah.
repeat.
Well, it was called Wings and Pizza.
Yeah.
But everybody knew what it was, and I sat there and I was like, "Do you like my music?" And they're like, "We would rather not." I'm like, "That's fair." Can I put my anime openings back on now? Because
leave it to Megan to make everything
with the
uncomfortable.
Wings and pizza. I was like, "This is great. This is great." So yeah, I have a playlist called My Dad's Truck because when I was a kid, he had 6 CDs that he played in the same truck the entire time he took me to training practices. And I made it into a playlist, and I play that for my classes all the time. And it's 99% Def Leppard and REO Speedwagon, which is nice. It's just relaxing, very chill.
So the most savage thing ever said to me was made by this young lady named Emma from Greece who used to come to Pentagon and train every summer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The blind lady.
She was nuts. She was so good.
She was very nice.
Insanely good.
Yeah.
And she was so polite too.
Very sweet.
She also did judo, didn't she?
She was a
black belt in judo. She was a black belt in judo, and she was so nice.
So for our audience or viewers, Emma was a blind young lady about 22 years old from Greece who was a black belt in judo. She would come and train Brazilian jiu-jitsu with us. And one of the first times I partnered with her, she was feeling around and she was like, "Ah, you're big." I was like, "Yeah, I'm bigger than you." And at the time, I was probably like 230 pounds. She's probably like 5 foot, 120.
Yeah, she's like.
She was small. She was my size.
She was very tiny.
I think she was smaller than you, actually.
No, she was maybe the exact same size. She always had her hair pulled up, so she had curlier hair, so she always looked very tall in comparison to me. But she was about the same size.
So she said one of the most savage, most coldest things to me ever. She goes, "Oh, you're pretty big." I was like, "Yeah, I'm trying to lose some weight." And she goes, "Well, it's time to spar." I was like, "Yeah, it is. Yeah." She goes, "Your size will not save you."
Oh my god!
Yo, I BS you not.
Uh-huh.
I sparred with her too, man, and I was like,
she's like Bran from Game of Thrones. She's like, "Why did you think I came?" And I'm like, "Oh,
dude, I rolled with her one time. Never again." This lady working on me, and I'm like, how is this possible right now?
She has Sugi level squeezing strength though, because I remember I had only rolled with her one time. She likes to tell you how you feel to her. I only rolled with her one time, and she told me that I felt like a baby bird. And I was like, "That's probably true." I said, "Thank you." She goes, "Yes." I'm like, "Oh God, I'm gonna die."
I hope she has a Twitter account because I want to see these sayings, like, just
you feel like a baby bird.
Morning affirmations. You feel like a baby bird. Oh, you're.
Your size will not save you. I was like, "Oh."
That sounds like the start of an anime fight.
It sounds like a threat, and it wasn't even veiled. She didn't come here. She was so nice, and I think it was her dad or her brother. Somebody always brought her. It was her dad. Yeah. He was always so polite too. He's like, "Yeah, she's pretty good." I'm like, "Sir, my life, and every life I've had before me flashed before my eyes when she squeezed me to death. It was awful."
And it's crazy because her dad is like leading her to the mat, and it's like, "Aw," and then you're like, "Ah."
Yeah, she got in there and she had her stick to move around, and I always felt bad because at the gym we were at, the floor was kind of unlevel. Yeah. So I was always afraid she was going to trip because I tripped on it and I could see fine. And she would make her way in there, and then it was like you could see the room just flatten. She went in there and would just lay waste. It was phenomenal.
I think she would start, and then you kind of guide her hand to your lapel, and you kind of guide her to a starting position, And
which is almost like tying your own noose. You're like, I'm sorry.
Exactly. You kind of guided her, and you're like, okay, we're about to start, and then she just destroys you. So
here is a loaded gun, and it's pointed right at my face, and she's like, perfect. Thank you.
The crazy thing is, I would sit there and watch her like partner with the new guys, and they try to go like easy and try to like be, she's blind, let me go nice on her. And
so was Toph Beifong, and you don't fuck with that. I'm sorry, right. You don't play.
Literally, but the look on their face when she would start annihilating them is, you cannot put a price on that. It's priceless. And then like people come up to me afterwards and be like, is she totally blind? I'm like, yeah, she can't see it there.
The Badger Moles taught her well. She didn't come here to play, man. I had so much respect for her, because at the end of the day, she did that because, one, she could, but two, she genuinely, and you can feel this off of people, that they have a genuine love for what they do. And it's the purest thing in the world to like come across in martial arts, is when someone's like genuinely good at what they do, but then they have such a love to do it with other people. Yeah, she was amazing.
I respect her, and also like Callie too, because when she started, she was so young, and she still like jumped in there with the bigger guy, was crushing it too. It's just it's great to see people, who just enjoy doing it,
And you don't get a say in like what physical cards you get in this sport, and to have the hand that you have, it's the hand that you have. So like you make it work, and damn, did she make it work like so amazingly well. It was incredible.
So Emma, the day that she said, your size will not save you, proceeded to choke me out and armbar me like repeatedly for like 5 minutes. And I was sitting there thinking, I don't want to move too harshly because I might squish her. Like, she's so tiny. She was like a little honey badger, just attacking.
But see, that's the beauty of that's what I like. I like when I see in martial arts, people still applying themselves. Like even when it's like freaking like the hardest thing in the world, they still throw in there. They still go in there and.
It's yours. Like nobody can take that from you. Like that is your space. That is your place, and it was hers. And you can't get that taken away from you. And if there's things that are out of your control, they're out of your control. But that is not. And
kind of makes me feel like a loser. What am I doing with my life? I'm not choking anyone.
Do you want us to break your legs so that you just go in there and you're on like nubbins? Okay, you can.
There was a guy at a competition with one leg. And like
at my first Copa Nova, there was a guy that had one arm, and I was like, yo, that's amazing. And he's like, I like to do the chokes or the takedowns that you have to grab this arm to defend, and there's like no arm there. And I'm like, that's rude. That's just rude. That's rude.
One of the Chantilly guys at Pan Am, he heavyweight, the guy won the division, and he was missing a whole what's that?
I was saying he had one leg.
Yeah, he had one leg. And the only thing that they would not allow him to do was no pulling guard. They told him that he couldn't pull guard.
That's fair.
Yeah. It was weird. It was weird. Like some ruling that they had against him or something like that. But
jumping guard or like pulling down into guard?
Like pulling down into guard.
Wait, so the person who was fighting him was not allowed to pull down into guard? Pull him, the one?
No, he couldn't pull guard. The guy with
that is a weird rule. I could see dropping into guard because you've got nothing to brace yourself on if you really thought about it, but
no pulling.
That's weird.
I can understand it's a safety thing, but the thing is, like, if he's trained that and he's comfortable with that, that's fine.
No, I don't think he's a newly person with one leg. I think it's probably been like that for a while.
Well,
fell off on the way to the tournament.
Matsugi said that the dude was like amazingly like good and like very, very strong, very, very strong.
I can see Sugi saying it too with that big smile, being like, "Wow."
I can see Sugi like, "Two."
That was so I was actually thinking about Sugi the other day because I was talking to my kids about the coaches that have made such an impact on me and anything. And I never got to grapple as much with Sugi as I would have liked to because of, my work hours. But there was a time that we were sitting in the kitchen, we were on break, and I was in the kitchen, like sitting on the counter because we didn't have chairs or whatever. And Sugi walked in and he sat on the cooler with this big container of spaghetti, which is what he did. And he's like, "Do you want to watch Sex in the City?" "I'm going to watch Sex in the City." And I'm like, "Absolutely, I do." So we sat in the kitchen, and on my lunch break, I watched Sex in the City with Sugi.
That was pretty
And
cool.
he's like, "This show is great." I'm like, "Okay."
I didn't realize.
Okay. Oh, he's a big Sex in the City fan, which I thought was pure beyond all rhyme and reason. It was the nicest thing I'd seen in a while.
You never know who's a fan of what, because my dad, like, one of his favorite shows to watch is Say Yes to the Dress.
First of all, that's a fantastic series, and I need you to check yourself. It is a great series.
I didn't say anything about it.
It's great.
Yeah, I always find it interesting what other people's hobbies are. Like my coworkers and people I roll with and stuff. It's like people are like, "Oh yeah, I had a coworker. He was and his hobby was to play the Indian saxophone."
Really?
Yeah. So he had that hobby. I've had other coworkers who have just like weird or interest in hobbies. And it's just you just see people in one dimension, and then when you get to know them outside of work or outside of a certain setting, you're like, "Huh, that's interesting."
Well, it's cool when you see people like in martial arts, and we're all in not maybe the same sport, but the same, same hobby. So it's kind of cool to see martial artists have other hobbies. Yeah. Sometimes I forget that people have other hobbies.
Yeah, because you get together with them and that's all we talk about is martial.
Yeah. What's the weirdest hobby that you guys have? Yeah, what's the weirdest hobby you have? What do you do? He's like, "I don't have a life." Anybody?
Shit, come back to me on that one.
I paint Warhammer miniatures.
Oh.
Do you really?
Yes.
Ooh. What do I do? I've been reading a ton of, actually, I don't know if you can see my bookshelf over here. Hang on, is it going to show it? I've been reading a ton of books. Oh yeah, no, 100%. 100%. I've been reading a ton of books. I doodle.
Friends with nerds.
I don't know if you could see how much manga is on this bookshelf, but that entire top bit there is all just. One of the guys I rolled with after I broke my leg. I broke my foot.
Oh wait, hold on, Megan. Hold on, you gonna about this.
What did you do? I'm scared.
If you guys saw my Transformer collection, you'd probably just label me the biggest nerd of all time.
Well, I think nerd is a very general term, and truthfully, if you're in martial arts, don't lie to me, you're a dork. We are all.
We are all nerds of martial arts, so it's okay to be a nerd.
No. You're a nerd in something else. Don't lie to me. You're a nerd in something else.
Oh no, I'm not saying. I'm just saying we're all nerds of martial arts, so it's okay to be.
I think I'm into. I think my other hobby is like cooking. I like to cook.
Yeah, cool.
I can make a mean grilled cheese.
I like cooking, and I tinker with electronics. Yeah.
I don't understand electronics. It's witchcraft. I don't get it. Like I don't understand how things turn on and off. I don't get it.
Wole is a tech nerd.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, if you had to be a nerd, it should be in something that's actually like useful. I have a lot of knowledge about Pirates of the Caribbean. That's not going to serve me in any capacity.
Bull crap. I love the Pirates of the Caribbean.
I know. So my friends and I went on a beach trip not that long ago, and the first thing that I went, because Johnny Depp's trial is going on up the street from my house. I love Johnny Depp. I'm sorry. I watched Pirates of the Caribbean. That was a forming film for me.
Where is it at?
It's in Fairfax. In Fairfax at the courthouse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're like not too far from my house. So I watch it all the time. It's like, this is great. But I mean, obviously it's very sad. But Pirates of the Caribbean, that was a formative film for me. And I think everybody had one stupid thing for me. Oh my God. It's something about Johnny Depp and eyeliner. I was like, this is fantastic. And it's going to shape me as a human. And it did.
Isn't that Johnny Depp in like 90% of his movies? Edward Scissorhands. What else is he?
Blow. He was
he's always
amazing
wearing-
in Blow.
Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd, he's wearing eyeliner.
Sweeney Todd.
What's
There's
movie
something
about
about a grungy old man in eyeliner that I'm like, fantastic. That is fantastic. Look at him go. But we were talking. I have an unholy amount of knowledge in regards to the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, and like an offshoot of that was just piracy in general. Very interested in piracy.
Too bad.
I have a
that
sword.
there ain't- Too bad there's not gonna be anymore.
I mean,
That's
you
fine.
know,
They got really bad after the third one. You don't talk about the fourth or fifth one. The third one was
Are
a
you
beautiful
kidding
ending.
me?
Are you kidding me? Are you going to look me in the eyeballs? You can like Penelope Cruz all you want, but that was a bad movie. Frankie, shut your mouth. It is a bad movie.
No.
what is?
The fourth Pirates of the Caribbean. I want you to look me in my eyeballs and tell me one good thing about that movie besides Penelope Cruz.
It was awesome. No,
That's not a thing.
No, we're not
No.
gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. This is gonna be a long night if we go
That's
there.
my own podcast. I will have my own podcast all about
We'll
why the
do
fourth
that.
and fifth
All
Pirates
right.
movies are so bad.
Is it like Iron Man 3 bad?
You
Iron Man
haven't
3
saw
was
Iron Man-
good.
Frankie, I think you just have bad taste in movies. I don't
Shut your
think you.
face. Thomas, kick Frankie out.
Wait a minute.
Iron Man 3 was terrible.
What was?
I didn't
which
think
one
it's
was
fair, I think I
Iron
saw
Man
it.
There's
3?
gonna be a fourth one, by the way. Thank you very much.
Isn't he?
No, three is the one
No.
with the pepper pots where she has like a suit and she comes to save Iron Man. And
Wasn't the kid from Insidious in that? Was the kid from Insidious in that one? And he like showed up in Endgame for like 0.5 seconds.
yeah.
Okay, good. I didn't see it. I was like, that kid was he was in Insidious. He was in like the Nether. How did you get out of there?
So
Crazy.
the Brown Coalition overrules Frankie's evaluation of Iron Man 3, and we
It's
deem it
awful.
to be a bad movie.
Yeah.
Yes, it's terrible. It's one of
I don't know.
It's one of the worst MCU movies ever made.
Oh my god!
Yes.
Frankie, the fact that you are this offended by that is concerning.
No. Oh,
Dude,
you
it might
guys
be
are
even worse than Hulk with Ed Norton and all the other.
That was really bad.
Wait, and now you're gonna tell me that you guys don't like pancakes with syrup.
I'm actually a waffle girl, so I actually don't like waffles. They're more
Ladies and
organized.
gentlemen, I rest my case. She's a waffle.
You don't
lady.
have chicken and waffles. You have chicken and it's chicken and waffles, not chicken and pancakes.
No one says
Yeah,
chicken
but
and
pancakes came first
Yeah,
before
chicken
waffles.
and pancakes. Yeah, because you were lazy and you didn't try to take it up a notch. That's what it is.
Point of order.
No, you could just
Smack talk.
Point of order.
Objection, hearsay.
Yeah, get out of here with your lazy ass pancakes, Frankie.
Thank you. That's the poor man, lazy man's breakfast. Waffles are the superior. I had this with Jerry for years.
No,
actually.
excuse me. They made IHOP.
Mm,
What about IHOP?
I have
Waffle House. Waffle House.
Listen. The only reason why you should
sponsor
go
us,
to a
IHOP.
Waffle House. Hold on, time out. The only reason why you
If we're
should
going
go
off
to
of
Waffle
martial
House-
arts, it's where you go for a fight. I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. So you
Where
wake
you
up at
go.
3 o'clock in the morning and you go fight with the cook over there if you want.
And you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that in IHOP. You're not going to get that there. You're
Waffles
gonna
aren't
get-
even all that with a bag of chips at Waffle
But you
House.
don't go to Waffle House for the waffles entirely. You go for the experience.
Here's what
But
we
we're talking
need to
about
do.
waffles and pancakes
to
here.
get-
Hold on, Wale.
we
Give me
need
a
to-
second, Wale. Hearsay.
We need Waffle House. I'm looking at you, Waffle House. Waffle House and IHOP, we need y'all to sponsor an episode. And let's put this to rest. Which is better, waffles or pancakes?
So what you have to do is you have to have a representative from IHOP come and physically fight a representative for Waffle House, and then I rest my case. Like
So which one would be doing Aikido?
The Brown Coalition approves.
IHOP.
You're not brown. You're not brown.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. He's not brown. He drinks Trulies.
Do you really? Do you really?
Master Sugi gave me the Truly.
He would. That's a
No.
very health conscious
Yes.
decision.
Oh, now wait. Who drank the Truly though?
I've never had a Truly. I'm not.
I plead the fifth.
I've never had a Truly.
No,
Yes.
that's a lie. That's a lie. You're
No.
white. You're
Is
white.
that is
You're
what
white.
is that? Is that the same as a White Claw?
Yes.
It's the same.
Okay, so
thing.
I've had a White Claw and I didn't like it. It tastes like somebody burped into a thing of like fruit salad and then put it in my seltzer water. I'm not a huge fan. I do like the black cherry one though. I will give you that.
So based
Would
on
I go out of my way for it? I have a lovely Japanese beer today. That's what I am vibing with today. But no.
So based on Frankie's assessment, you're not a true white girl.
What do I need to do better? Whose manager do I need to talk to? Like I just,
Not the guy at Waffle House. I know that much.
you don't talk. There's no manager at a Waffle House. It's a fry cook, and that's it. That's
Yes.
it.
Free fall.
And he's outside by himself.
At IHOP, there's more options of food than at Waffle House.
Hang on, can you hear this? Do you hear this? Hang on. My dog is covered in dog shit. It's great. A Waffle House is happening in my house right now. It's going on right now. It's great. But no, I
Just say
has
the
gone
same thing
south,
for
ladies and
Fridays
gentlemen.
or like Cheesecake Factory. They have a ton of stuff, but is it quality?
yeah, Cheesecake Factory's got like a novel for their menu, but I don't choose to go there all the time.
Yeah, but it's amazing. That's good food there. For a franchise. Yes,
Frankie,
it is.
are you a middle-aged white woman? Are you okay?
Oh my
Do you want to
God.
talk? Do you want to talk? Because you got really upset about the Trulies. You got really upset about IHOP. You got really upset about Iron Man 3. Are you okay?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Y'all are just.
Do you
y'all
own some
are just-
Lululemon leggings?
No, but I do.
Are you asking
own
me or
Lululemon.
Frankie?
I do.
I bet you do. I bet you do,
own-
Karen.
No, I do own some Lululemon boxers. Which, hold on, give me one goddamn second. Now that I'm talking about Lululemons, how come Lululemon
Did
they
you
don't make
plural
no?
Lululemon?
Yeah,
It's one lemon. It's Lululemon. There's one lemon. One queen, one lemon.
Did he say Lululemons?
Yes.
There's multiple underwear.
All right.
Thumbs up.
Oh wait.
Right?
Okay. Do you say, Frankie? Do you say let me put on my Gaps when you wear like a Gap shirt and some Gap jeans?
No,
He sure does.
So, but there's more than one, right?
it depends. If I own a multiple shirts of like Gap shirts,
Gaps shirts.
You call it
Gap shirts, right? Gap shirts.
You guys are gonna make me die of an asthma attack laughing.
Yo, this
Rest
podcast
my case.
went completely south.
I would
let's-
disagree.
Hey
Let's go
Thomas,
back.
you know that list that you talked about this earlier? Just crumple that out and send that thing out the window, bud. Because this
Do we have-
ship
wait,
this ship
do we-
has gone to Pirates of the Caribbean 6, sir.
I'm so excited. I
Don't
love me
worry.
a good pirate film, man.
I threw out the topics list after all this started.
Oh, okay.
It's-
Yeah,
Did I destroy the podcast? I'm sorry.
No,
No.
we're winging it now.
We're winging it now.
And it's actually pretty good right now.
Yeah.
So, Bob and
How many
Edith,
fought?
right?
Wait. No. Bob and don't be careful about Bob and Edith. You be
Oh no,
careful.
I love Bob and Edith. That was great. That was
You be
fantastic.
careful about Bob and Edith.
I will
sir.
respect Bob and Edith. They had a wonderful blueberry smoothie or a milkshake. And when I would open up at the gym in the early morning and I had like that baby break in between, I would walk myself down there and get steak and eggs by myself at the window with their coffee that was always burned, but still good.
I never went.
Had a great time.
Let's try it out.
So,
You should. It's great. There's one in Alexandria, but it's not the one that I like to go to. The one on 50 is or not on 50, on what is that? Columbia Pike? Yeah. That's where you go. It's hard to find parking though, so you might want to walk.
I like the one down here in Springfield.
Springfield's good
There's
too.
one in There's one in Springfield?
Yeah, they have several locations
them.
now.
Good for them, man. They were always so nice too.
What were we gonna say about what were we gonna say about Thomas?
Oh, I was gonna say our viewer count went up to 6 and then dropped back down to 1.
Oh,
Is,
No, come back.
who's still here? Why? Are you okay?
Those were all
It's
the-
Sugi.
There's
Those
one
are all-
person. We constantly have one viewer and they never respond to us.
It's Sugi. He's sitting there being like watching Sex in the City in the background, and
all of the people who dropped are middle-aged white women who don't appreciate you.
yes,
attack.
they all came because of
They
me.
came, yeah.
You got a white woman on and they came for Frankie.
The Brown Coalition
That
disavows
lab-
any insult to white women anywhere. Please do not cancel us.
I'll do it.
No.
We're not the best. Thank you. Thank you.
Half of me is
And if you say
insulted.
we are, you're lying. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay to lie.
Half of me is insulted.
All of me is. It's fine. Get over it.
This is why he's not brown, because he's half white.
Probably me from many, many, many generations ago would be insulted.
I do the insulting.
Wole,
It's my favorite.
So
I have a Korean last name now though, so I'm like undercover.
yeah.
I'm sneaky.
has anybody ever asked you if you're adopted by a Korean family?
So let me tell you, I've done taekwondo and I grew up in the sport. My parents dumped me off with an elderly Korean man at a very young age. So I kind of grew up in this culture, but the minute I changed my name, the amount of garbage that I got from parents being like, you shouldn't use that name. It is misleading. Like I signed my child up for an authentic experience and I was like, ooh, tell me more. And it was from both sides. I had white families being like, that's not what I signed up for. And then I had Korean families doing the same thing, being like, excuse you, I wanted an instructor you. And I'm like, hello, that is me. And they go, no. And I'm like, well, then my driver's license and passport are very wrong. And I am sorry for that. But I actually applied for a job at a coffee shop as like a part-time thing. Just in between, I was looking to see if I wanted to change things up for a little bit. And the owner was Korean. And when I applied, I gave her my resume and I told her that I taught taekwondo. And we had some conversation in Korean. And she was like, I'm so excited. This is on the phone. She's like, I'm so excited to have another Korean person like on staff. And I'm like, oh, what? And she goes, yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm like, I am white. And she goes, no. And I said, yes, yes, I am. So yeah, no, I haven't had anybody ask if I had that lady ask if I was like, my parents were Korean. And I said, no, Michael and Susan are very white. But thank you for checking.
So when Skeletor 2 was little,
Okay.
we were at Springfield Mall and I think it was
You told me this.
yes.
Yes.
So it was not the day that I saw Frankie and his daughter there, but long story short, my Skeletor 1 ran off. So I had to snatch Skeletor 2 and run after him. And then a security guard was like, sir,
Never a good
wait,
look.
where did you get that baby? I looked at it, I was like,
I made it.
I helped him
And
make
you
him.
walk away. I was there.
Right. So he was like, no, don't go anywhere. I have to call my supervisor.
You should have been like the food court. Shut up. And then just
Yeah.
kept going.
So I told him, I was like, while you were here messing with me, my other son is in this mall somewhere unsupervised. So
Yeah, that's not a good look.
no. So the supervisor comes over, big dude, and he goes, what's wrong here? I was like, your guy is doing his job, but he thinks that I probably kidnapped my younger son here. I show him pictures from my phone. And while we're hashing it out, Skeletor 1 walks back over to me with a Haagen-Dazs ice cream cone.
Oh God, where did he get it?
He said some nice lady bought it for him.
That's no, I'm sorry. Nice ladies don't do that. You're gonna get trafficked. Put that back.
Took it from him, threw it out,
Put that back.
and then we went and got ice cream.
Yeah, no, that's how you. So I'd be like, thank you for wasting my time. My child almost got trafficked. Thank you.
It was a middle-aged white woman who gave him
With a
that.
truly and an Iron Man 3 t-shirt, came in, swooped in with an IHOP application in hand and took my son.
I got something for y'all next podcast watch.
Is this gonna be like white people talking?
Oh, I'm gonna make an iron.
Are you
No.
like
Oh God.
and say that she
I'm gonna wear an Iron Man 3 logo.
I was like, do you have an Iron Man 3 t-shirt? Because that's a whole nother can of worms that I didn't think you're gonna.
I'm about to go buy one.
I
Oh
think
my
those
God.
are collector's
buy
items
one.
at this point.
Are they really? People want that? And I was like, people want that? Really? It's an interesting choice.
someone on eBay is an Iron Man 3 aficionado.
It's Frankie.
You know, there's somebody with like a basement full of like Iron Man 3
It's
merchandise and
Frankie.
toys.
This was going to be the one movie that would make it all.
No. I trying to think of the worst outside of obviously Iron Man 3 and the Hulk one. That was bad. What was the worst Marvel movie
what?
that you could think of?
No,
Frankie, sit yourself down. Frankie, sit yourself down.
No, you're so
You're
young.
just
Oh my
deceiving
god,
yourself.
you're so
Was
young.
it Black Widow? I didn't see Black Widow, but was it good? I'm assuming it was Black Widow.
People said it was bad. I like Black Widow.
You're
I didn't
probably
see
a
it.
DC person, aren't you? You like DC?
No, I'm not. So the last DC movie I watched, and I will say I very much enjoyed it. I prefer Marvel to DC. I want to put that out there. But I saw Robert Pattinson's Batman. It was the funniest fucking thing I'd ever seen. And I loved it.
I was like so against it. I was like, I'm not gonna watch it. Vampire
So
dude.
good.
But I saw the trailer and I was like, hold up. This looks like something I'll enjoy. So
It was so funny at all the right times and so good. It was everything. It was like when you went to see Venom and you knew that it was going to be trash, but you loved it because it was Venom and it was trash. It did exactly what it promised. So Venom is the best Marvel movie in my opinion.
wait, so you saying the Batman was bad, so good, so bad was good, or
It was like watching Robert Pattinson come out of his Twilight phase just to fall into Batman and be like, I hate everything. And I'm like, bro, same. Go on, turn up. I'm ready. And it was fantastic.
emo Batman.
Emo Batman.
I'm still
Great.
trying to figure out why Hulk 1 was the worst.
The one that didn't have Mark Ruffalo in it? I didn't even finish it because, and I will be 100% transparent. I saw Iron Man 1 when it came out in 2008 in theaters because I'm an elderly. And then I didn't really watch any other Marvel films until Endgame was coming out. And then I binged every single one. And I got the Hulk franchise. And then the first one came up and I'm like, this is the wrong movie. I was like, this can't be right. I thought it was like when you download a movie or you pull it up and you're like, yeah, and then it's like some weird offshoot of the actual film. Hey, he's very upset about the Hulk being a bad movie. I did not like that one. I really liked Captain America, but now looking back at it, I'm like, wow, you really chose to go back and do all that crap again. That's an interesting choice. All right. But overall, yeah, no, I didn't like Hulk. I was not a huge fan. And they're doing She-Hulk now, which I've seen nothing about, but I think it's a TV series that they're doing.
Yeah, it's a
TV series. So that first Hulk movie with not Mark Ruffalo and not Edward Norton.
I'm moving to my kitchen, hoping that my dog won't be so loud in here.
So I saw that when I was visiting Phoenix, Arizona, or Tempe, Arizona, and I walked out on that movie because it was so awful. Like they got so much wrong with that character and the Absorbing Man, the villain. They got that wrong too. It's like, how do you get that type of stuff wrong? Like,
it wasn't under Marvel franchise though.
No, it wasn't. Eric
wasn't?
Bana. That's who it was. No,
What's the worst? If you had to think of the shittiest movie you've ever seen, like the absolute worst one.
Oh no, they're worse than that.
No, I'm saying, what is the absolute worst one? Obviously, that's not the worst one. It's not great, but what's the?
I mean,
and it's not Iron Man 3. There's got to be worse than that because The Room doesn't count either. That was meant to be bad. The Room doesn't count.
The Room is. You know what? I used to go to. They used to have showings of The Room, East Street Theater every I think it was every month, and I used to go. I went, and one time, what's his name was there? Wiseau, he was there.
Oh, really?
I got to take pictures with him. He signed an autographed copy of the DVD. He still wouldn't say where he's from. I
think the worst movie that I've ever seen were the Lego movies. I cannot sit through the Lego movies, man. I fall asleep. I'm like, this is
if you work with kids, you have to watch certain films that are just bad. Like, I didn't like the Lego movies. I have a soft spot for some really crappy films. Like, I'll be 1,000% transparent on that. The new Jurassic Parks are absolute garbage, but I'm gonna go see it because it's Jurassic Park.
I I am
No,
at the
Frankie. I bet you like Jurassic Park
Megan, I
3
used to
with the
like you.
raptor that
I
talks.
used to.
No, shut up. I'll bet you like the raptor that says, Alan, that's your favorite, isn't it? That's your favorite character in the Jurassic Park franchise, isn't it? You're not answering me. Is that it? Because I'm right.
Blue is actually my favorite. Thank you very much.
Ew, really? Really? That's an interesting choice. But I'm going to see them all. That's the thing. I'm going to see them all because I enjoyed the franchise. If Pirates of the Caribbean came out with another crappy Pirates film,
Why did I not knock you out when we were scoring?
You tried. I'm pretty quick. I'm scrappy. Scrappy. But I liked those. I have, and I will be the first to admit, this is probably the whitest thing that I do outside of my Starbucks. Because if Frankie remembers, and you guys remember too, I always had Starbucks. I have, and I own them. I spent money on them. I have all of the Twilight films, and they're all garbage. I also have the complete series, all 10 seasons of Friends, and I hate myself that I have them. Huh? Oh, I'm awful. I am trash. I have Friends on in the background, and my dad gets worried when he comes to visit and it's still going on. He's like, "You're depressed, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Yes." It's comforting sound.
I'm at that phase where my daughter, we do movie night every Friday, and my daughter, she's about 7. Finding.
Oh my God, is she really?
Yeah.
She's so big now.
Yeah. So trying to find a kid's movie for like 7-year-olds or around the age, they just make so much trash for kids. It sucks. It's like you look at the
Please tell me like what?
Well, so you have you have the good ones, right? But then you have like really trashy ones.
Like
what? Which one?
I mean,
I have a lot of opinions on this too, actually.
I really just go on like the Rotten Tomatoes ratings, and they're just like trash.
Okay, but what movie, bro?
I don't know. I
Give me one
of them. Let's see.
The Brown Coalition recommends Happy Feet.
Happy Feet was good,
but then it went on.
Happy Feet was a weird one, but I enjoyed it. I liked it very much.
Wait! I want to hear what Wole has to say right now. Which one, Wole?
Iron Man 3.
Why?
Because you better say some. You better say some crap movie right now, because there's been some kid movies that I actually enjoy, sir.
Oh, here's one for you, Frankie. Encanto.
I loved Encanto.
You did not like Encanto.
I loved Encanto. That was a great soundtrack. That was a great soundtrack.
You didn't like Encanto?
I hate it.
You didn't like Encanto? I'm actually offended by that.
The African American Coalition agrees with Wole.
Really?
No.
Now,
next time we roll,
I was like, wow.
Next time we roll, I'll play the whole soundtrack of Encanto.
No, I just wanted to watch.
I loved Encanto. That was a great movie.
I love it. I'm just joking. I just wanted to see Frankie's face.
Ooh.
Stuff like Boss Baby the movie and stuff.
That was awful. Those are terrible.
Yeah, those are movies like that.
I had to take Frankie. I had to take a summer camp full of children. Like I'm talking like 60 kids to dollar movie night to go watch fucking Boss Baby, and it was the weirdest movie. That and B movie. B movie is weird as shit. You guys,
the B movie was great.
Oh my God. B movie?
You guys, man. You guys
she
do
leaves
not
the
know
husband for a B, Frankie. That B's gonna lead her to financial ruin, Frankie.
It saved the world.
Frankie!
Okay. If y'all want to see a really bad movie that, it's one of those where you think it's either really shitty or you're gonna put it in the same class as The Room.
Venom 2.
No, Birdemic, Shock. I think it's Shock and Terror or something like that. Look up Birdemic. Watch
which one is it?
Birdemic, like pandemic, but with the word bird in it in the beginning. Yeah. Birdemic.
It sounds like a shark. It's not like Sharknado because it sounds like a Sharknado.
I kind of feel like
it's like that, but it's probably worse.
That is not a kids movie, Thomas. How dare you? We are talking about kids movies. Stay away from my children. Are Skeletor 1 and 2 safe? He said Human Centipede is kind of worse, and I said, "Are you a bad father?" I think you might just be.
Human Centipede 2.
There was a weird kids movie. You remember Monster House? That was fucking trippy because I showed that to a kid and I said maybe I shouldn't have did this. I showed them that one. The Road to El Dorado was great. I showed them that one. They didn't appreciate it. I also showed them The Emperor's New Groove and they did not find it funny. And I took that very personally. I was so mad that they did not laugh at the things that needed to be laughed at. I did it for them because I'm garbage, but
How do you guys feel about the Fast and
Fantastic.
Furious franchise?
The what?
I can honestly say I've never watched one.
I haven't watched any either.
Wait, which one? Which franchise?
Fast and Furious.
Oh yeah, I've watched it. I like Tokyo Drift.
Nah, never watched them.
I think we hurt Frankie's feelings.
Well, Frankie got really quiet, which I've never known him to be.
What time is it?
11:23.
It's about that time.
It's okay. I watched Tokyo Drift. You know.
I know you're good at Wole.
Okay.
The other two.
Wale, on a scale of 1 to Iron Man 3, how much did you enjoy Tokyo Drift?
I mean, storyline's terrible, but you know the cars are cool.
Exactly, but they brought it back around.
But dude,
they're bringing it back around.
Like Fast and Furious 9 and 10 and all of that, it just got even more ridiculous.
There's 10 of them?
There's gonna be 10.
Yeah.
There's like
It's
jumping.
I mean,
I
the
saw
last
the
one.
trailer for 9. Is it though?
It's not gonna be the last one. That's a lie.
Well, it's hard because
and Vin Diesel was like, you know, on a truck and the truck hit another truck and that sprung him off of it and he jumped and hopped onto a car and jumped onto a helicopter. I was like, come on.
Vin Diesel looks like a thumb. I don't think he could do that. I have never seen a single movie with him in it where he enunciated. Does he enunciate his words in these films, or is he just?
In Guardians of the Galaxy, he does pronunciate his lines very well.
He does. He does
Groot.
great. We are Groot. He does great. Fantastic.
I think ever
The hell of a
since
tree.
Paul Walker, R.I.P. to him. Yeah, I don't think the franchise could keep going after without him.
No, and that was a big
I
hit
know
for
his
them.
brother.
Yeah.
I know his brother stepped in to fill in, and they're doing the CGI with him.
They
But
put him in another movie, like CGI him in.
That's like disrespectful.
yeah, because his brother looks just like him.
No, they CGI'd a dead man into these franchises. That seems a little soon.
They're gonna die.
I think so. I don't know.
Oh,
Marvel.
Fun fact. Did y'all know Paul Walker did jujitsu?
I do now.
I think he was a blue belt.
Keanu Reeves does it.
Yeah, Keanu
Yeah.
Reeves.
He's still a white belt though.
Ed
What's his
Keanu Reeves
name?
still-
Jonah Hill. I hate Jonah Hill, but he does it.
He does it too, yeah.
The guy that does Venom, he does
He does. Tom Hardy.
He does
it.
does jujitsu. Actually, he does MMA. He was
He has
really good in Warrior. Oh, I love Warrior.
Tom Hardy.
Yes. Have you seen that movie?
I have not, but I love Tom
Oh my
Hardy.
god! If you want an MMA movie that'll try to pull the tear jerkers, that's the one right there. Warrior.
Is it what about what's her name's movie? The movie that she's in
$1 Million Baby.
no, not her.
I cried Matt.
One where she's
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't watch it. I heard it was good though. I saw clips of it. It looked promising.
What movie was that?
Which one was this?
I don't know the title.
Like Hurt or something like that. I think. So
I've only seen clips of her, but it looked impressive. Like it looked like it would have a promising story.
Demi Lovato does BJJ. I will roll with her.
So
Just putting that out there.
interesting little fact.
Demi.
There's either one or multiple schools out in the Hollywood area that don't require the stars to roll.
What? No,
So-
you can't do BJJ and not roll. I guess is it like
Right.
you know you're
So that's a question that I legitimately have. During the pandemic, I have students now in my job that have received very high allocates and high ranks in Taekwondo, strictly virtually. That should tell you a lot about how I feel right now. How did you guys train during the
Told you.
pandemic?
Yeah.
Because I feel like you guys didn't care and you're still just going. Like I just feel like jiu-jitsu is like,
Time.
I think there's a difference.
What?
Time. Go ahead, Thomas.
So when we answer this question, don't get anybody in trouble.
I won't. I'm just curious. Did you guys do virtual classes or what?
I think there's a difference. So I did virtual classes, and it's it's good. You can only really do kind of the cardio stuff.
Yeah.
I think there's a difference between, because there are a lot of people who got bored during the pandemic and they're like, let me do jujitsu or something, and they started out virtual. You don't get the full, experience of it starting out like that.
Yeah, you can do taekwondo at a distance.
Yeah.
To an extent. I'm curious. I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble. I'm curious for jujitsu because it's such a hands-on thing. Like, how did you guys do that?
I don't think I don't think you can start out BJJ virtual and do like 2 years of the pandemic virtual and then say that you're, whatever you are. You need one-on-one. You need to have that experience of someone in your face.
Absolutely. So, I have kids that are going for their black belt now, and I'm like, all right, how much ring time do you have for sparring? And they're like, sparring, and I'm like, oh my.
What is this concept?
So
what?
There was a little hints and personal invites to these underground jiu-jitsu rolling. We're not gonna say who or where or what location, but it was like a secret society where you had to like, hey, rolling at so and so's house at this time.
You order a bagel with lox, and they're like, oh, on a Tuesday, and you're like, yeah, and then you just slink into an underground gym.
It was like a bootlegging.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
who you with?
That sounds about right. I'm just curious because like I know as a sport, when I did jiu-jitsu as opposed to like Muay Thai or Taekwondo, there's a very different feel of people. And Taekwondo people are uppity, and they don't want to. They follow. They're very pristine. They don't want to follow. They want to follow the rules. And I'm like, oh, that's great. I would like to hit somebody, and I'm vaccinated. So can we or no? Can we not? And I feel like for all of my friends that have done jiu-jitsu, nothing changed, and they were grappling the entire time in one way or another.
So me, this is me though. This is me. If you got a stripe or a belt in the midst of pandemic, I believe that does not count.
That should be. I wholeheartedly agree. I feel like that is like the Diet Coke watered down with truly version of this of your training experience.
Watered down.
You're about to make a bunch of people mad.
That's fine. You can be mad. Come for me.
About the stripe or belt not counting.
Listen, man, I am a 3-stripe white belt, and I have been so for years, but I like to think I can hold my own relatively well, so come at me.
Same here.
Come at me. It does not matter. It's taped. But
this is why, because you, like you said, you need the mat time, you need the sparring time, you need how many tournaments have you gone to? You get these stripes, you earn these stripes. They're not just given.
It's not a Zoom meeting that you just show up to like 9 of them. Like in Taekwondo, there are patterns that you have to memorize. So you can focus on pattern, and I can see your technique through a camera and be like, hey, you need to turn more, or you need to bring your knee up more, or you need to chamber your hands differently. That's how you're going to settle your body weight. Jiu-jitsu is not like that.
My 3 stripes, my 3 little white stripes on my measly white belt, I am proud of them because I put the time and effort and sweat and blood and tears onto those stripes.
I mean, I think here's the thing. If you get your stripes in pandemic virtually or whatever, but I think that after that, when stuff comes back and you're doing actual jiu-jitsu physically and stuff, your progression, you should be progressed slower so that you can actually get the experience of like just rolling and sparring with people. Like,
and the cool thing about The cool thing
Yeah,
about
like you can
jujitsu is
start
it'll
off
slow it
new.
down for you because you'll just get stuffed. It'll slow itself down. It's not like the coaches said like just have to do anything different. You're not going to be able to do what the people that are on the mat more can do, and that's not like a disservice to you. That's just a fact.
I mean,
So-
yeah, I didn't have the chance to get like a dummy and try training with a dummy, so I just kind of like I didn't really have that much space, so it was hard, and I think a lot of people virtually dropped off, and then they just basically they canceled the virtual, which I think was at the end of the day a good thing, because people need to come in and they need to do the actual training face to face.
Agreed.
So real quick, there were pods of people that were going around and creating a dedicated pods in people's basements. Like people would put down mats and stuff.
Mhm.
The funny thing was, certain people got invites to multiple pods,
Oh,
except they were like, "Don't tell anybody." And it's like, oh, fine, I won't tell anyone. But it was weird because afterwards people were like, "Hey, guess what? I did this, that, and the other, and shh, don't let anybody know." It's like, well, I already knew that guy was doing that because he invited
told me not to
too.
tell anybody.
He
Yeah,
told
so
me
it sounds
too.
like jujitsu went into a bunch of like speakeasies, and taekwondo just went into like a prohibition where it's like we will not touch, we will not speak, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go do that over here though. And then jujitsu is like underground, being like, nah, it's like gremlins and their speakeasies.
Because I mean, you get a craving, when you haven't done
Well,
it.
it's your normal. It's the most normal thing. And again, like we said earlier, it's something you can control. And everything else was so out of control. So like if you're doing it, just do it. Like
I mean, I think if I were single, no kids, I would have continued training through.
Of course.
But yeah,
And it is in no way a disservice or a disrespect to jujitsu. You guys will roll. And I say you guys as if I didn't do it either. We would roll, and then afterwards you just sit in your sweat in your little gis, and we lay on the floor and we just fester. Like if anybody in jiu-jitsu was gonna get it, they would have gotten it early on. Like you guys have like cast iron immune systems. Because I remember I had to clean around you guys, and I'm like, "Can you move?" And you're like, "No, we're done." I'm like, "Yeah, so move. I have to mop."
Just mop over me.
You're festering in a corner. I rolled with a guy. I was cleaning the gym one time because some dude didn't tap, and he passed out and he peed. And instead of stopping, the pairs around him just kept rolling around like the urine puddle. And I'm like, y'all are wildin'. Like, I don't know what to tell you, because that shit doesn't happen in other sports.
So,
dude, why is my gi smell of pee?
I have a gross story, right?
I love this. This is
So-
fun.
Hey guys, I kind of need to go. I gotta wake up early tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go ahead and close it out. This was good. Megan, we
Sorry.
do this every Friday, so you're more than welcome to join us whenever you want.
I would have a blast with this if you guys would actually invite me back. I would have a great time.
Yeah,
So,
come back.
sorry, I
next
cost you 5 whole viewers. I'm sorry. That's my
Don't
dog.
worry about
I'm
We're
tired.
we're used to this.
We're used to this. We'll have you back next Friday. This was a lot of fun. So final
Actually,
thoughts?
if we do next Friday, do you guys remember Cecilia?
Yes.
Yes, I'll bring Cecilia. We hang out all the time.
Oh,
I bet.
that works.
Yeah, I'll bring Cecilia next time. It'll be a good time.
So final thoughts. Let's start with Wole.
This was fun. Thanks for joining us today, Megan.
Thanks for having me. I'll come back.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we did this.
Final thoughts. Keep training, I guess. And whatever you do, don't watch Iron
Iron Man 3.
or Hulk 1.
Thank you.
Because they are trash.
Whatever. Terrible. Frankie.
And don't do it eating pancakes from IHOP.
Thank you.
Go to IHOP.
I knew I
Waffle House.
liked you for a reason, Wale. I knew this.
Frankie, final thoughts?
Go to IHOP, not Waffle House. Done.
Megan?
If somebody challenges you on the mat, you do it respectfully, but you do it efficiently. And then you can celebrate with a fist fight at a Waffle House. Thank you.
And
All right.
I will close out the night with a line from one of the most famous scholars in Bugs Bunny history.
I was like, Goku? Is it Goku?
No, I said Bugs
Oh.
Bunny.
Bugs Bunny.
No, before you got up Bugs Bunny, I'm like, it's gonna be Goku. And it wasn't. Because he's not
No.
bright. Carry on. I'm sorry, go on.
He who holds the map is the owner of the wishing well.
Goku wouldn't say that.
I have no idea what that means. Okay. Anyways, thanks guys. This was fun. We'll see you
All right.
next week. Have a good
See
night.
ya. See you Friday.